streaming. But it always seems like there's like a, I don't know, 10-second lag before it actually starts streaming, I suppose. So I never know when to actually start talking. Doesn't really matter, I guess. The first couple of seconds is always spent doing the tweet stuff. So, da, da, da. Gotta do the at text quest game. Dev stream is now live. Okay. And then, of course, I feel like come watch is just my default thing. Like, I just say it at the end of every tweet about the stream. Well, anyway, hello everyone. It is October 29th, and this is the October 29th TextQuest Dev Stream. Today's topic is, of course, programming, since it is Thursday. So we're going to do a couple of stuff for level logic. Mostly we're going to be focusing on getting doors to open and close, which, oh man, I just realized that I don't have the second set of doors textured. That makes me sad. Oh well, we can actually rig up this door at least to open and close. And this is going to be super fun because we're probably going to end up reworking our door script since it was, like a lot of other stuff, written a long time ago. So, essentially, oh, and we'll also probably, assuming that the door stuff doesn't take us forever, we'll take a look at level transitions because level transitions are handled very similarly to how Legend of Zelda does it, actually. So I can actually show. Yeah, we'll do it with the original game. Well, not the original game, but the current demo. So everyone's in for a nice treat. Assuming that I still have it on here, which I think is actually going to be in downloads. Or it could just be easier. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and open. Let's go to TextQuestGame.com, your one-stop shop for all things TextQuest. Looks like it's from the 90s. So I can download the demo here. Give that a few seconds. Man, look at that great website design. It's flawless. It's amazing. Keep. Let's show in folder. Fun, 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 fun. Extract all. And we're just going to show how the level transitions work currently. So this is open up TextQuest. This is the current demo. I mean, obviously, because you just saw me download it from the website. And after next Friday, hopefully, or probably after that weekend, I'll have a new demo up with all the stuff that we've been working on to make it nice and shiny and brand new textures and all that. So, type start. Just do a new game. Go through here. Normal, right-handed, green. Of course, I'm a hero. Everyone knows that. Da, 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 da. So this is outdoors. That's our end result that we want. We can open. We can close. Yeah. We'll also need to set up a sound effect, which the current one, I think there was the possibility of playing sounds. I just didn't for the demo because I didn't have a lot of sounds. So let's open poll. I'm spoiling like half of the demo, but it's okay. So that's the way our current level transitions work. It's a little easier to see here. So it fades to black and it keeps walking in a specific direction. And I can probably pull up. And it's a little awkward on these stairs actually because you noticed this sort of area right here is actually the transition zone, and if you hit it in the wrong angle like that, it takes control away from you, and it's kind of awkward. And I've had some feedback on that saying that people don't really like that. So I got to think of a better way to do it. But the stairs is kind of the only place where it's that tight environment where it's obvious that it's taking control away from you. And for a clearer example of what I'm aiming for, I'm going to pull up, close all this. Probably should switch to my account instead of my company's account. So what is it? Oh, look at that, Dodongo's Cavern. Oh, right, because I was looking up lava sound effects. We probably can just watch this initial part. After a stupid advertisement, because, advertisements, which I guess would be like the timely time to say YouTube Red exists, of which I have not paid. I don't know if I want to pay $10. I don't know if it's a month or if it's a year. If it's a year, that's not a bad deal. But if it's per month, that's like no, no. So let's go ahead and skip ahead right about to here. So you can see it walks in, fades to black, fades back in. That's kind of the transition that I would like to do. The trick is getting, and it works very well on transitions that are like this, that have that you're just walking in a straight direction for a while. It works very well for that, but there's no real good thing for staircases. Which, to be honest, I don't think The Legend of Zelda ever did staircases either. So maybe I should just change my level design a bit and have either a longer staircase or not have a staircase at all. So we'll probably not do we're not going to refactor the level design right now, but that's something that's an issue that has been raised, and I need to look at it. Anyway, for now, let me open up the door script. Let Visual Studio do all that and open up. Alright, so this is our current door script. A massive, terrible, terrible monster of a... oh, you know what? I probably don't even need this in them bolts anyway. It's a bit of a monster of a script. It's not doing anything complex, really. It's just kind of... It's just doing a lot that it has to check. So it inherits from interactive object, which almost everything in the game does. And all that means is that it can actually be interacted with by the player. And after the player has put in a sentence and targeted the door specifically, it will pass all of this information to the door, at which point the door will go through, say, like, did you use a verb that I knew? Or I probably need to change this, because the way I have it set up, it's checking if Sierra mode is the current mode, because if it is, then doors will break your keys, which probably, I don't know if I want to have that be part of the actual script or not. That might be its own separate little thing. In any case, so this is just checking to see if you if the door is locked and you have the key, or you're trying to unlock it with a specific key or item. Once it goes through all that, it goes to the actual verb part, where it will determine what should happen. So if you typed unlock and it's not locked, then it's going to say it's already unlocked. You don't need to unlock it. If it's locked and it needs a key, then you have to specify a key, assuming that you didn't. And if it doesn't need a key and you type unlocked, it'll just unlock the door. Same thing for locked, although locking right now doesn't really do anything. I wanted to possibly have in the idea that you could lock doors, but that functionality doesn't really... I haven't really gone anywhere with it, and I don't think I'm going to, so I'll probably end up taking that out. Enter, exit, and open all do the same thing, which basically just... and I got two do's in there, which makes my code look nasty. Which, to be fair, this is nasty code right now because it was old code. But enter, exit, and open all do the same thing. They cause the door to actually open. And here's where you see a sort of weird part of the doors. Doors can either be local doors, so doors that actually have an animation that open and close, or they could be transitions to another scene. And if that's the case, then the door doesn't actually have an animation that it plays. Instead, it just has... it just fades to black and then loads the next scene, and then puts you in the appropriate place. So that's what this is doing. It's saying load the level and then give the output as well, because it has to say like opening or you enter a new area or whatever. And then checks to see if it's already open, and you typed open. If that's the case, then just says it's already open. And then if it's not a scene transition and it's not open and you typed open, then it's gonna do the actual open animation, do all the bools to set the animation state, and then that's that gets the animation to actually play. Close is very similar, just sort of the reverse of open. And then all of this is common, which I don't think I actually need anymore, so I can probably just get rid of it. And then open and close are just functions that were used for conveniences. And this set and imbools thing, this was actually written back before. I think this was written before you could script on actual animators. So right now, does Throne Door have an animator? It does. Good. So if I open up my animator, which close should be the default. We're just going to keep this here, actually. So you can actually, on these, you can add a behavior. And these are, I forget what they derive from. They derive from some specific thing. It's not a mono behavior. It does specific things regarding these states. So you can actually have functions execute whenever a specific state is reached. So this is used. This, if I remember correctly, the set and imbools was largely used for when I load a level. I have to tell a door to load its previous state. So if you leave a level and a door is open, when you come back, that door should still be open. It shouldn't be closed again magically. Unless that's the point of the door, I guess. So this was used to basically say, okay, get the information for the door's state, then load it in, and set the door to be that. And that's why, if you noticed in the demo, when you came back from the sewers, the doors actually animated opening again. I think at the time, instead of being smart and telling it just to snap to open, I told it to actually animate opening, which was stupid. But, what do you know? Past me was stupid. So, we'll probably take a look at this. We'll try setting it up as it is, and then if it gets a little too nasty to try and do anything, we'll probably end up taking a look at refactoring this code. So, for the time being, I'm also going to do this. Public bool string open idea, so probably do this public audio clip open clip, then public audio clip close clip, and just to be safe, I'm also going to do a public transform audio point. So here's the fun part. Gotta go to open. So this is where it actually does the opening. So we're gonna do sound manager dot play sound. Oh, actually, hold on. I almost forgot. That's stupid. If open clip sound manager dot play sound open clip, and then audio point else this dot transform float volume, and I still haven't refactored the I haven't had the chance to refactor it and move the music group all the way up, which is stupid, but that's just how it goes. Let's do 1F false parent sound false, I guess. Not like a door's gonna be moving, I don't think. And then I don't know if I want to do. Hold on. No, I'm actually gonna get rid of that. Just gonna do that for the time being. Mostly because I kinda don't like having to always pass that. Hold on. This is how my programming works. So okay, I already have the audio mixer group. Right. Okay. So I wasn't completely stupid. At least I hope not. Yeah, right there. Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, good. Good. I told it to default to I was worried that I didn't tell the sound manager to default to a certain audio group in the mixer. So, because I want to try to make as much use of this mixer as possible, since I've never really focused on it before. It came out in 5 and I didn't really do much with it, so I want to try to use it more. Because it's a cool idea. And it's a cool tool. I just haven't done anything with it. So, no errors. Sweet. Now, we are going to start setting up transitions for our animator. So, we're going to have a transition to opening, transitioning to open, from opening, transition from open to closing, and a transition from closing to closed, as well as a transition from closed to open, and a transition from open to closed. So we have 6 transitions in total, not counting the entry one, because that's just the default state. And the reason that we do it this way, the reason I do it this way actually, is you always want your doors to be closed at first, or most often you're going to want your doors to be closed at first. Then, in order to get to the open state, they have to go through an opening, and then from an open state, to get to closed, they have to go through the closing state. So, we already have all of the animations set up, and now what we have to do is set up our parameters. So we're going to have a bool is open, add a bool is closed, add a bool is opening, and then add a bool is closing. So is closed should be checked off by default. So now we basically want to set up these transitions to fire off whenever these bools get changed. So to go from closed to opening, we want to set the condition to be when is opening is set to true. And from there, do not have much of a transition. Yep, that's basically what we want. We might even be able to do that. Yep. So that looks good. And then opening is actually not going to have a condition. It's going to be, nope, I don't know why I just did that when I said I wasn't going to have a condition. It's just going to have an exit time. Although why its exit time is just completely off, it's beyond me. So the idea is that we go from the closed position to the open position, and then it'll stay like that. So then we need to go from open to closing. So I'm going to say if is closing is true. We're going to go from open to closing. We don't need a has exit time. Don't need a fixed duration. So if I hit play there, yeah, I should do the same thing over here. We don't want an exit time, and we don't want a fixed duration. So if I hit play, bam, that's what we want. Because we basically want, for these, since closed and open are 1 frame long, they're not actually, I mean, they technically are animations, but they're a frame long. There's no real movement there. So we don't want to have that sort of crossfade that normally occurs. We just want it to immediately switch over to the opening animation, or just immediately switch over to the closing animation. So, oh, looks like transition duration is not set to, let me change that to be 0. Then go, boop. That's what we want. Okay. And then, of course, same thing here. Just going to close. Don't need to do anything special. But we do need to do something special for these. So these 2 transitions are not normal transitions. These 2 transitions are only used when a level is loaded. So when a level is loaded, by default it loads the state that the level was actually built in. So let's say I have a door that I opened, and then there was a level transition immediately like 2 feet away from that. When I come back to the level from that direction, I want that door to be open because it was open when I left. It should be open when I come back. But it's going to spawn in the closed position. So these two transitions here are basically a way to immediately say, hey, you're closed, but you should be open. Or, hey, you're open, but you should be closed. And it's the level loading, and so we don't want to have it actually animated. We just want it to be like next frame, be in the open or closed position. So for closed, we want to add a transition that says if is open is true, make that transition. It's not going to have an exit time. It's not going to be a fixed duration. It's not even going to have a transition time. It's just going to be bam, 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 bam. That really awkward spasming. And the same thing is going to be true of this. So we're going to say if is closed is true, then make this transition. So let's turn off exit time, set up transition of 0, and then it's going to be doing that again. But that essentially means that we can immediately transition between the two without having to worry about it. Now, the other weird thing that I have run into when doing this is basically, if you're not careful, you can get stuck in a loop. So let's say we start, and by default is closed is true, but let's say the door is open. So the door is open when the level starts, which means that this transition is going to happen, but we haven't done anything to get rid of the is closed, which means that it's going to loop right back, which means that since it is open and is closed, it's going to keep looping back and forth between open and closed. So to fix that, I have a behavior called reset animation variables, and it's not great. I actually probably want to try to come up with a better way of doing this. And essentially all it is saying, so is closed. I can manually specify what happens when the state is entered. So when we enter the closed state, I can tell it what variables it should, it essentially should, the values of those variables. So I have 4 variables: is open, is closed, is opening, and is closing. But only one of them should ever really be true at any given time. So all we'll do is say whenever this is entered, which is what the reset animation variables does, there is a built-in function that gets called whenever the state gets entered, and I'm just going to say whenever it's entered, I want is closed to be set to true. Its value should be checked. Element 1, the ID should be is closing, should be set to false. Is open should be set to false, and is opening should be set to false. So all of these should be false, except for is closed, because that's what we want it to be, which is nice. So now we can copy this, or not, really. You can't copy this. Interesting. Huh. Really? I thought you used to be able to copy these. Huh. Okay, well, super interesting. That just means that we have to, we'll just have to add this behavior multiple times, which kind of sucks. Not set animation state. I can remove that. Add behavior. Reset animation variables. God, I don't know what I was having so much trouble with that for. And of course, it's going to be the same. I'm going to have, so is closed, is closing, is open, and is opening. So we want is closed to be false now, is closing to be true, and is open and is opening to be false as well. And I also have this reset on exit checkbox, so I can say whatever the value I assign to whenever you reach this state, turn it back to what it was before. Whenever I leave the state. That's largely, I don't think I actually use that anywhere, but I've included that in case I need to do that at some point, just because it seems like something that may be useful at any given time. And it's largely so that I don't interrupt functions if advanced animation starts going on later down the line. But, eh. So, copy this, go add behavior, reset animation variables, do 4 again. Is closed, is open, not open, open, and is opening. I feel like I spelled opening wrong, but it's fine, because I feel like it's opening. Anyway, is open is set to true, everything else is set to false. That's all good. And then the last time is right here. So again, for is closed, is closing, set that to true, is open, and is opening. Cool. Also, this is set to be is opening. So we have that all set up, and that will prevent us from having a weird loop where both is open and is closed are true here, because the moment it enters the open state, it will say it's only is open is true. Everything else is false. Same thing with this. It'll say only is closed is true. Everything else is false. So it's a nice sort of way to balance thing. I might look into it a little bit later, not tonight, but come up with a better way of typing these in, because I really don't like working with strings, because it gets really messy, and there's always the possibility that I spelled something wrong. So, you know. But for now, it works. It's fine. And also, good God, semantic saturation is a thing. And I suffer terribly from it, apparently. For those of you who don't know, semantic saturation is when you look at something enough times, you look at a word enough times, and you can't recognize it as the correct spelling of the word. It kind of loses the meaning for you. I was just looking at is closed and is closing, and it looks like is claused and is clausing. So it's kind of a problem with this game in general because of all the stupid lettering on the textures. It starts to make stone look like stone. But hey, I didn't invent human psychology, so blame evolution. Anyway, so that's our door. And now if we start the scene, we can walk up to it, and you'll be able to see that, well, nothing's changed. The door is still closed. Which is good. We want it to be closed. We don't want it to snap open by default. And, I haven't set it up to be an interactive object yet. Isn't that fun? But we haven't actually done anything to let me interact with it and open it. So, do throne door. Let's change its layer wasn't interactive. That's probably why. So we got our animation module, got all that stuff. And then we have all of this, which should actually be add, not collection manager, collision module. Module, and that's just part of an actor system that I've set up. So they're distinct modules that control various functionalities of the actors in the game. So, for example, if I walk up to this painting, you can see that it changes the reticle. And if I walk up to the door now, it should do that as well. Yep. If I try to interact with it, it's not going to like it. It'll just say an interactive object, which is the default sort of state of things. But I can't do anything to it, because I haven't actually filled in the information for it. So, that's not helpful. That was it. So to actually fill it in, we'll want to go to let me just pull this over. So, wrong thing. Interactions, castle, and quarters, which move painting. So move painting was, I think we made this on the stream a while ago. That, or I just made it immediately after the stream. And this is essentially how I populate the data in a interactive object. You can see in Unity I have these text asset fields. And before I had to do these 4 separate CSV sheets. And I'm trying to get away from that. Actually, I already am getting away from it. The default interactive object doesn't use them anymore. And instead I want to use JSON or XML because I can just compile all of these separate CSVs into one JSON file. So what I do is I basically have all of this information per each object. I have a spreadsheet on Google Sheets or on Google Drive that utilizes this format to properly set things up. And once I'm done filling in all this information, I can just pull it down and insert it into the object so that it knows what it's supposed to look like. So if I open this up, so I just made a copy of the move painting for now because I made some changes to it, and that's the current format for JSON. But we're going to call this throne room door. So its names are going to be door. Door is probably just fine. And you'll notice that I have commas after all of these. That's because I use a tool that I actually wrote, and I've talked about it multiple times because I always want to, pimp my tools. That basically allows me to export all of this as a single JSON file, and commas are used to indicate arrays. So I can say, even if I only have one thing, I can tell it that this is a JSON array, just to make it a little bit easier on myself. So, description, a large, imposing door. Default color just means that the color will, whenever you interact with an object, if it says the object's name, it will, you can specify a color for it to wrap the object's name in. And saying default color just means that the object's name won't get any special color. It'll be whatever the default color is, which by default is white. Adjectives would be large and imposing. And ignoring groups is used to say if you're interacting with this object and there's a bunch of potential objects you could be interacting with, should you ignore it? Whenever you say like take all or something like that. It's generally used for, say, you're interacting with a chest. When you say take all to a chest, you want to take all of the chest's contents, not try to take the chest itself. So that's kind of why it is. So this is all going to be text only. And there are a variety of effects. I think I've explained all this before, so I'm not going to go into detail on it again. But basically, you have 6 effects. 6 different effects that you could do for each thing that you input. I wonder why I did text only there. That's kind of awkward. So the object name is firmly attached to the wall. That's all fine. I'm just going to keep going to default fail for now. Don't think it would agree with you. Yada, yada, yada. Examine. The door is... Actually, hold on. The object name is... bears the... It's very old and bears scars from past sieges. Did I spell sieges right? I think I did. IE, right? All this stuff hit your hand, swells with pain as you knock on hard, sturdy wood. I probably shouldn't say hand, but that's fine for now. And then, of course, the insult, which has to be a pun, and I'm never good at coming up with these on the spot. So, and you might notice that I'm saying object name. Object name is just a way for my parser to recognize that it should use the object's name, not just the word object name. That's what tells it to wrap it in a color and do all the other special stuff for it. Tell the object name that it's a siege door, basically. So, it needs to open up more. Which I think is cheating because I think I've already used that somewhere else. But it's fine. And then, of course, item checks and word checks aren't very useful right now. They're just if you want to do special stuff, to specific words that are input. So unwrap single row JSON, export cell arrays, and let's go ahead and I don't think I need to force string values. Could be wrong, but let's visualize it, see what it looks like. So this is what it's going to spit out. That's what I want. Okay. And then, good. So let's export this. It's going to export to a JSON file that I'll be able to download and actually pull into Unity. Let's open that up. And then we will download this. So something we need to do before we go too crazy is door inspector. So this is the custom inspector for the door, and by default it's here we are. So the set object info is that even being used anymore? This is what actually sets the information on the object, obviously, because it's so obvious. But the problem is that was the old way of doing things, so now we don't want to do that. We actually want to do, let me see, what's the new function called? Should just be update, right? Here we are. We want to do this from JSON function. Okay, so in door, at the very bottom, public override from JSON. Do the base from JSON to set everything up, and then we're going to have to do our own custom stuff. So we'll get this stuff from door inspector. We'll copy the info, move it up here. Then get all this wonderful stuff. Okay, so now we gotta do the fun part of converting all of this. Crud, right? That's not gonna work. Okay, so I already messed up because I forgot a very basic part of my my design. So different objects have different information in the info tab. So that was the information for a interactive object, but a door should actually look like this. Except that's not the right door. I want the bedroom door, I think. Or castle door. That's fine too. So this is what actually should be in a... so you can notice the differences here. So a door actually has locked, target level, target spawn, and no key output as well. So if we copy these, I just paste, insert one right, insert one right, insert one right, and insert one right. I think I can just copy paste those. So that, now it should be fine. So I'll have to export that stuff again. This original one, and then I can download this new one. Right? Yes! Good. Make sure that it has all the information on it. So, hopefully that'll be set up properly. And now we got to fix all this real quick. So, we get our basic JSON, which means I don't have to convert this stuff anymore. Instead, I can say, you know what, I'm just going to comment this out. Door manager, which is not a thing. This dot locked equals JSON dot get bool value locked Really? It returns a string? Oh, that was stupid of me. Oh, yeah, because that was just me being dumb. Um, oh, bah, 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 bah. Man. Guess it would just be get string ID dot to bool. Okay, hold on. I was stupid here when I did this. Right, because I didn't want to have to specify a default value here, so that was just me being dumb. Get bool value and then return. Return. Oh, I already have return there. Get bool ID dot value. There we go. That should work, I think. Don't know why I have get string. I also don't know why I don't just do. That's stupid of me. Don't know why I didn't just do this. There. Super easy. Eh. Okay. So then, I don't even need this try thing before. This was all done. Wow, this was done a long time ago. And what this was all doing was this really nasty way of using system to convert everything from a string to a specific value. But I have a lot of convenience functions now that do that for me. So don't need that anymore. I can actually just comment out probably all of this and then slowly fill it in. So let's move this down here. Okay, so this dot door no, it's just this dot target level equals JSON dot get string value target level equals target level. There we go. Dot, and actually it should be if JSON dot get string target level does not equal null, because we don't want it to try to parse a null value, then we are going to say dot to enum, which is a convenience function that I wrote, and say level ID. Not Lee ID, level ID. Ta-da! So bam! So nice one-line code instead of having this massive, terrifying chunk that I have to do. Makes things a lot nicer. So we're going to do a similar thing with target spawn point. We're just going to say, just copy this actually, make it easy for ourselves. New line stuff. Space it so that it's the same, and instead of target level, it's going to be, what is it, target spawn. Target spawn, and then copy this as well, just paste it. This dot target spawn point equals, copy this, paste it, and then spawn point ID, I think. Yep. Sweet. So one more thing, I think, and then we should be done basically with, yep, right there, the no key output. So just this dot no key output equals JSON.get string value. What's the no key output? No key. Of course, it's going to be no key output. There we go. So now everything should be in place. If I go back, let it compile. Hopefully there won't be any errors. And then we should just be able to use this or our data to fill it all in without having to type that all in manually, which will be super nice. So let me pull up downloads. So that's going to be our JSON file. Just pull this in here. We go over here, pull it into the JSON file, then hit update. Aha! Nothing broke, except it did not get the no key output. Target level, oh, that's correct. No wrong key IDs. What about its verbs? Okay, so this all seems to be working. Sweet. So nice. Got that all working. Large, imposing. Plural names, doors, names, door. Large, imposing door. Nice, but why did no key output not work? So I open this up. This is the JSON. We want to go all the way up to the top because that's where our info is. So no key output is no key output. And then what is our value up here at the top? No key output. Okay. Ah! No, I know what it is. It's because I was stupid. So actually, we want to do, if I go to definition, right, we need to do this. So I was pulling from the root JSON information, which is just this massive chunk, but I actually want to get this specific section, and that's what this is going to do. So this little line here is just going to grab that specific section, and that's all we care about for the door. We don't care about anything else. So we're going to change JSON to be object info, basically, wherever it shows up. And all of that should work. So now, if I go back, let that compile, I should be able to actually update it again, and it will have the correct information. Once it finishes compiling. So if I hit update, ah, dang it. Still didn't work. Try that one more time. No, nothing. But all this stuff is correct, which means, that's kind of annoying. Wonder what I'm doing wrong. There must be some no key output equals object info get string value no key output. Huh. Which I feel like that just means that I'm not getting the value. It's there. We know it's there because we're looking at it right here. No key output. But we're doing something wrong, apparently. And just to double check, make sure that that's no key output. No key output. Okay, so they're spelled correctly. Okay. Wonder if so it's inside of info. Let me just throw a debug in here. Debug.log object info dot get string. I'm not going to do get string value. I'm going to do get string. No key output dot toString. Or let's try toFormatted string, I guess. So let's let that go, and then when I hit update, it should. Oh no, I know what it is. It was me being stupid. And instead of calling Oh no, never mind. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that. It should just happen. Okay. That's not annoying. So let's go back here. Let's hit update. Yeah, weird. It's getting it. Interesting. Go to debug mode. Maybe it's not. Okay, no. Weird. Okay, that means that I must be doing something stupid in get string value. So let me fix that real quick. Get int, get string value. Oh, wait, why was I doing that? Ugh. That was stupid of me. Huh. Interesting. So I was just basically overwriting this for no reason? Okay. Um, Weird. So I just want to return this, and I was doing this the wrong way anyway. I don't know why I was doing that. So let's do that. And get rid of this. So the problem is I just had it overwriting it. So now if I do it, it should populate it properly. I guess that's what happens when you code at like 4 a.m. You can kind of mess up sometimes. So let's update, and there it is. Nice. Okay. And real quick, because I was stupid when I did this, I didn't think to have extinguish, read, examine, enter. Let's do default. And default for exit. I didn't set this to actually work with open, so it's set to say it won't work if you open it. So this should be default for open and then default for close. Okay, so now if I save and play, I think we should actually get it to open up. Oh, sad. I had another viewer left right as I started to do this. So let's see what horrors happen. Bam! Look at that! And if I hit close, yeah! Oh, that was super fast though. Why was that so fast? So open, that's nice, but why is... Okay, so if I look, close, it just seems like it's faster for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna try something. So close, open, close, open, close. No, they're the same, it just looks different to me. So, anyway, hooray! Yeah! Got that door working. Only took 50 minutes. Okay. So, that's nice. Kind of want to go through here to make sure I wasn't doing anything stupid again. Except I totally was. Like, right there. Every time. Huh. Don't know why I did it that way, but that was dumb of me. So. Okay. So the last thing I have to do is let's go to door inspector. Just get rid of this entirely. Don't need it. Okay. So don't need any of this either. Pretty much getting rid of a lot of my stuff. Which is good. I'm getting rid of old, outdated code that's nasty and no one wants to look at. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Nice. So basically what was probably, I don't know, 50 lines of code is now less than 20, basically, which is nice. 30-line decrease. Makes it a lot simpler. I'm sorry, a lot more simple. simpler? More simple. It's the simplest. Most simple. Anyway. So now that we got that working, we can go ahead and let's do sounds. Let's get a sound effect in there. So we have our throne door, and here we go. So these are our audio clips. Do I have a door opening sound effect already? I'm going to guess I don't. These are all sounds that are in the asset store stuff that I have. Which, admittedly, I don't have a lot of asset store stuff, because I'm a stubborn guy and I like to make most of my own stuff. I don't want to do an alarm, but I'm going to do an alarm just to hear it first. That's okay. It's like an Inception door. I love it. We'll do it. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. I need to optimize my level a lot. It's hilarious. It's like Inception. Okay. So let's do a similar thing for our closing. Do verb unlock, lock. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, and doop, 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 doop. Let's copy this. Move it to close. If close clip. Okay. So we'll let that play. And then after we do that, we're going to test the audio point. And I included the audio point in case I wanted to do something weird by having the sound somewhere else. By default, it's going to come out of the actual position of the door. I'm also going to move my character so that he spawns right next to the door. Start spawn point. This over here. Go up. And then let's go ahead and just rotate it to be 90. Okay. Save that. Should be able to play, and then be right here with our Inception door. Okay, if I hit close. Oh, really? Oh no, I didn't assign the... Right, I didn't assign the sound for it. So we'll make that one just, I guess, bass, flat. Sure, why not? Alright. Open. And close. Yes! That actually doesn't sound too bad. And of course, make sure that these don't fire when... Good. We don't want them to go off whenever the door's already open. Doesn't make sense. Close works. Close works. Alright, so now I want to test just having a audio object. Dang it. Keep getting like one viewer and then they go away. It makes me sad. So sad. I'm trying. Really trying. Anyway, so there's our audio transform. So our audio transform currently, by default, is going to be exactly where the original transform is, but let's move it, say, up and to the left, so we can obviously hear it, assuming you have stereo and don't live in the 90s with mono. Yay! It's all on the left. Close. Ha! Okay, so cool. We got our door opening. Yeah, that's nice. Of course, our doors still look hideous because of the lighting, which actually is not even a... there's no light mapping right now. I turned it all off. That's why everything kind of looks flat. But anyway, that's nice to hear though that it's properly working now. I probably want to go through and redo my door code, but for now, we have it working, which makes me happy. So we can save that. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this audio transform. Make that none, and then just delete it. Sweet. So let's apply this there. So all of that's on there now. And there are some minor edits to the JSON file that I'm going to need to make. Or, well, my actual spreadsheet, I guess. But I'll do that later because that's... As much as I want to, I know how exciting it is to watch someone edit spreadsheets online. Because that's what you guys come to Twitch for, right? High-octane spreadsheet changing. Anyway, so all of that's up to date. Let me reset my positioning on it just because I like to do that. Okay, nice. So we got our door working. And I would target the other doors too, but the other doors aren't textured, and I don't think I have their model in Unity yet. And I don't want to switch over to Maya to do that because this isn't Modeling Mondays or Texturing Tuesdays. This is Tech Thursdays, which is a very lame one, I feel. Modeling Mondays and Texture Tuesdays have nice alliteration, but I can't think of one for Thursdays. Anyway, so we'll leave that as it is. I don't know if I showed you guys this since yesterday or since Tuesday. I got the chest in there. Maybe we accomplished that Tuesday. It's hard for me to remember what I accomplish on the stream itself and then what I accomplish immediately afterwards. I forget sometimes. But we do have our chest in there now. It's all nice and textured and looks fancy. So next, we're going to take a look at level transitions, sort of. Except, actually, we might hold off on level transitions for the time being, just because one of the issue I brought up at the very beginning, where some people are saying that the level transition feels a little unnatural to them. So I want to come up with a better way to do it. And two, when I made these stairs, I've textured, as you can see, I've textured them, although I need to retexture the walls. But I've textured the stairs. I have not. I completely forgot to do this. I forgot to add a collision object to it. So I can add a mesh collider to it if I wanted to, but you don't actually want to do that on stairs because then your character looks like they're hopping up and down a bunch. So if I guess I'll do it real quick. So I'll just add a mesh collider to all of these things. Hit save. We'll play. Go through our Inception door. Run all the way over here. I wonder if this still works. No, it does, but it breaks somehow. Control Shift P. Gotta move my bed up. Which sounds like a really awkward phrase. Move my bed up. Anyway, so we can crawl down here. So you can see that it's really awkward. Simply put, it's really awkward. Because you get a lot of bouncing. I wonder if it's still got... It does have my level transition. But since that level is not added to the current build, it's not going to work. But yeah, you can see this bouncing sort of thing. And actually, I'm going to do Control-Shift-P. Go to transitions. I'll just turn that off so I can go down further. So you can see that I'm doing this really, really awkward bouncing. And the other problem is that it slows your ascent because instead of having a nice smooth ramp, you have this... You're basically... The character is basically running into a wall, stepping over it, running into a wall, stepping over it, running into a wall, stepping over it, which makes it very, very awkward. It's not a very nice... it's not a very nice thing. Oh, I need to change this to be the nice fancy materials, which I'm going to do real quick. Pardon-moi. Which is fine, I need to remove these mesh colliders anyway. Let's move this up. Oh, they have different ones, that's right. Oh, have I added those substances? Castle, throne room. Stone stairs right there. Bam. Nice. Oh no. Oh no, they're backwards. Why are they backwards? That's weird. Shouldn't be backwards. The normal one, oh no, it looks like it's fine there. But not there. It could just be a weird trick of the lighting. My normal map looks like it's inverted. Oh! Oh, sadness. I had... Dang it! Ah! I had a visitor and they talked to me and I was too focused on my task. I need to get a tool to let me know when people type in the chat. So, I feel bad, Tummy Time 21. Feel very, very bad that I didn't respond to you. Well, guess I just gotta keep pressing forward. Dang, that makes me sad. Actually, I gotta remake my stone wall, I think. Alright, so given the sort of modeling related things that I have to do, we might call it an early night tonight for the stream. Especially since I'm apparently terrible. Oh! Hey! You're still here! Never mind. I might go on a little bit longer then. Yeah, sorry about that. I get focused on what I'm doing and then I completely forget to look at the chat window. Which I have open and I still have trouble remembering to look over there occasionally. Well, if you're interested in sticking around, I might do a little bit more of the stream then. Find something else in the level to do. Oh, well, thank you. I always forget to tell people that they should follow me. Yeah, I wasn't sure what languages do I know. So programming languages, I primarily work with C#. This is in Unity, so I work with C#. I can do JavaScript. I know Java, C++, a bit of Python, and a bit of C as well. Basically, I guess the entire C family. I know that. And then a couple of other smaller languages that aren't really used anywhere. I know Scheme, which is the most worthless language ever, but I know it. It's dumb. Are you a programmer? Or just kind of curious about languages in general, I suppose. So let me reset this stuff. Oh, you're learning Lua? Okay. Just for fun, or is that a education thing? You're learning it through school? I'm going to move my spawn point back. Start spawn point. Move this. All the way back, yeah. 180. Pull this back. You're developing a mobile video game? Okay. In Lua? Really? Huh. Why Lua, I guess? Just kind of curious why you would do Lua. I mean, I guess there's no reason not to do it. But because I think Android is largely done with Java, isn't it? And iOS now uses Swift, I think, which is basically just updated Objective-C, if I remember. Oh, so you can use Corona. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Any reason that you like Corona? Or just kind of started off with it and you fell in love with it, or just generally what you like? Yeah. I don't need that. Do I know a lot about Corona? Not a ton. I haven't really used it much. Actually, I haven't used it at all. I don't want to lie. I just know that it exists. Heard good reviews on it. Okay, that makes sense. That's fair enough, actually. I think most game engines are like that. no one really knows until they try it out, I guess. So let me close this. Oh, and I want to organize that. So I should have move painting JSON paintings folder Chrome door. Move this up here. Nice. Save. Oh, I guess I should probably ask, how did you find the stream? Was it just turn on Twitch and randomly see what's going on? Um, oh, are you a pixel artist based on your port? No, I'm not a pixel artist. I'm just a terrible artist, and that really low res pixel look is the only thing I can really do. Um, so looking for game development. Okay, yeah. Well, my stream's as good as any other, I suppose. Actually, that's probably a lie. There's probably way better streams out there, but Um, yeah, no, I'm not a pixel artist. I wish I had that skill set, but I do not have the discipline or ability to create finely crafted pixel art. Hence why I'm largely a programmer slash designer. Although I am learning 3D art, but it's definitely a very different thing. Get our throne door. Do I need to do anything else to this? No, that's all fine. Well, while we're doing the scripting, actually, we might jump over to updating our. Well, no, I'll do that later because that's going to be boring for you guys. I was going to say we could refactor a lot of the old code for items and all of that, but no one wants to watch that. So, what else can we do tonight? Level transitions are kind of in the water. And level transitions are a fairly basic thing in TextQuest. It's just a trigger that. Oh, really? That's. I need to lower that. Or resize it entirely, actually. Refactoring. Yeah. Yeah, no one likes to refactor, but it's important. What are some of my favorite games to play? So I have the tendency to replay a couple of specific games. I grew up with Nintendo games, so I'll most often go back to Nintendo games. Probably the one I replay the most would be Star Fox 64, just because it's like 45 minutes I think to get through that entire game, and it's just super fun. It's just it's an amazing game to play. Um, Aside from that, I tend to play sort of a mishmash of everything, so whatever I feel like at the time. Currently, I'm in the middle of playing Tales of Zestria. Don't know if you're a big JRPG fan or not, but the Tales series is kind of like one of the big names in the JRPG genre. And Zestria is pretty good. It's got its flaws, but it's okay overall. Move this down. It has their wonderful free limbs combat system, which I can't even remember what the acronym stands for. Are you a fan of FPS games? Yes and no. I'm not a huge fan of the more sort of strict FPS games. So stuff like Call of Duty or Battlefield, I'm not a huge fan of. I do like stuff like BioShock, where it's more sort of 1990s, I guess, first-person shooter stuff. Not quite Twitch-based, but not just like you die in 3 hits. I'm not a big fan of dying in 3 hits. um, Although I guess I do like Dark Souls, so that's kind of a lie. Um, but yeah, I do like FPS games, just not most FPS games, I suppose. Dirty Bomb. I don't know if I know that one. Pull that up here. Oh, what? Okay, never mind. What is Dirty Bomb? Let's hope that it's nothing dirty. Huh. A team-based one. I haven't played this. Is it any good? Guess I won't take a look at it. I'll look at it later, I guess. But do you recommend it as a good FPS game? I did play as far as team-based shooters go. I did play Team Fortress and Counter Strike. Um, oh, it's your favorite game. Why do you like Dirty Bomb? I guess over the other team-based shooters, because there are a lot of those now. So I'm kind of wondering if it's just up to individual tastes when it comes to what people like in them. Because there's TF2, Blizzard has their new Overwatch game, which I think is in beta, and then there's a couple of other similar style games, that over the top stuff. Because you can wreck little kids who don't know what they're doing. That's a valid reason as any, I suppose. It's a lot like TF2. I kind of got that. I was kind of guessing that from the image. It looks like they even have similar character designs. Where I think I still have it open. Where the guy on the right very much reminds me of the Australian sniper, and just from his pose, it looks like he plays some sort of similar analogous class. But I guess that's kind of how balance goes. You're always going to have similar classes in a first-person shooter multiplayer game. I think my size might be a little bit better than what it used to be. That makes me happy. So let's change this. The X2 is fine. The Y should probably be 5. Yeah, 5 looks fine. And let's make our Z 6. Just a little bit. 3.5. Bam. Bushwhacker. He is nothing like the sniper. He plants a machine gun down. Okay. Which kind of makes me just want to go like, so he's like the engineer? I guess it's not fair to say everything's like TF2, because it's not like TF2 came up with those concepts. That's just the most popular example of them. And all that set up properly. So yeah, nice. Let's move down here. Don't need to worry about that. He is an engineer, not the way you would think of it though. So is he a little more offensive based, or is he still largely used to sort of camp and keep specific points or guard certain hallways? I might try. Let's see, triggers. We can keep our music one. Turn that back on. So the throne trigger is there. He is an engineer based on repairing objectives. So do you mean like you have to guard point X, and point X has X amount of health, and he can repair that health, or he can repair other parts of your environment, I guess, would be my assumption on that. Sounds like it could go a multitude of ways, I suppose. That's fine. That's still set up right. Tag masks. All right. Oops, sorry, I keep hitting my mic. I need to get a better mic than what I have. It's just a default headset one. You guys can definitely hear me adjusting it. So, let's set up. We don't want to limit the player's movement here. I'm trying to figure out what should happen when you initially enter this trigger. Like he can repair tanks, machine boxes, and he can plant bombs faster. Okay. Kind of makes me think of... I'm just curious if I can trigger the door. Oh, good. Good for it. What was the name of the game? There was a game that came out a long time ago, and it was like the first person shooter part of EVE Online. It was like Dust 417 or something like that. Dust 412 or something like that. And they had a character class in there that had a similar thing where they could sit and repair vehicles. So right now we just have it spawning the wizard, but we should probably have it do something else too. Oh, we can have it turn on the particle effects. Nice. And there was a similar thing in Tribes? No, not Tribes. Although Tribe does have a mechanic that can repair stuff. There was another game I was thinking of, and it's bugging me now. I don't remember what it is. Let's pull up the Castle Quarters Manager. So Throne Trigger. It's not pay to win at all. You can get everything, and I mean everything in the game without money. Well, that's good. That means that it's balanced well. Because bad free-to-play games charge you to win, while good free-to-play games, you could conceivably go forever without paying. And in general, I think the idea is that a good free-to-play game makes it fun to pay, but not necessary. So you can buy like outfits or stuff that's special but doesn't give you a bonus or a direct advantage over anyone else. So do I have a playground? Oop, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to set it up so that we can spawn this magic vortex, which is not the right magic vortex. Uh-oh. Oh, I paused it. Okay. I was like, why is it not moving? It's because I was being stupid. Okay. Nope. Outfits, loadouts can be gotten without money. Really? Even outfits? Huh. That's rare. Well, I guess let me ask. Is it pay X amount of in-game currency, but it's a special type of currency that's very rare? Or is it just like the generic in-game currency and then it just costs a lot of it, I would assume. Those are generally the two options that people use. And then I'm assuming that you can just pay to get it faster, correct? No, not music. Magic. Really, the generic currency. Okay. Is it an obscene amount of the generic currency? Yep. Okay, that's what I figured. So particles, playground particles C. So let's do. Really, it's all preset laser C. Interesting. 50k credits for a Merc. Took me 3 days of playing to get. Oh, so you have to buy the individual characters too? So it's sort of similar to like Dota and League of Legends in that respect. So instead of say like TF2 where you get all of the classes at once, you actually have to get the oh, wow, $10. Ooh. Oh, $10 for a character. That's a lot. Yeah, I guess I know what they're doing, but particles C. Huh, I don't know what the. That's whew, $10 for a character though. That's a ton. There's our magical. But I'm the type of person who likes to grind. Well, if that's what you like. I know that I had I mean, I guess I can definitely say that I'm also a similar type of person who likes to grind. Oh wow, it automatically parented it. That's kind of cool. Um, of playing casually. Um, or what was I going to say? I forgot. Yeah, I do enjoy grinding occasionally. It can get very tedious very quickly, but if it's done right, I really can very easily fall in love with it. Um, cool. There's our magic swirling. Um, but I need a good way to get it to actually. I might have to take another look at this because this is basically going to be a cutscene, and that's going to require a lot of sort of presentation. BRB. All right. I will be here trying to figure out magic swirls. Wow, that's ridiculous. Um, wow. Hmm. Probably gonna take a little bit of reading the documentation on this. Um, so this is an asset called Particle Playground. I need a drink real quick. Sorry. Ah. And it's a nice particle system that I got from the asset store. Um, and I've started to use it, or well, I've started to try and use it. I haven't gotten very far with it yet. Just because it has some very, very nice, you can see it's got really, really cool pre-built stuff, and I can swap in stuff fairly easily. But I need to figure out how to actually utilize it properly. Because particles are a very, very wonderful thing. They're just very, very difficult to learn, or they can be. So here's. I don't know if we're going to be able to. Well, I'll open this up and see how tough it is to get through things. Um, so, yeah. Probably not going to want to sit here and look through a design document. So we'll do that later then. So I'll just get rid of this. Oops. Delete. Um, so we'll let that go as is, and we can instead work on other parts that can happen whenever that. Oh, you're back. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do for this trigger. What I want it to do. I'm thinking that it. Well, I know what it needs to do in the end, but I don't know how much of it I'm going to do tonight, just because some of it involves reading a lot of documentation, and no one wants to see have just dead silence while I read through a 90-page PDF. Um, so I think what else could we do for that cutscene? See, there should be sound that plays, but that's not going to be too hard. Oh man, do we want to try and come up with a way to do cutscenes? Oof, that might be a bit much. I have a cutscene editor, which is called USequencer, which is generally pretty nice, but there are problems with using it, mostly because it uses a lot of scriptable objects, and you got to be really careful about keeping things clean. But I don't know. I don't know. Let me take a look at my king character real quick. It is an interactive object. It does have a model. Um, we could have Well, see, that's the thing. If we do all of that through the uSequencer stuff, it's basically going to be a cutscene that I control everything with in the uSequencer editor, which means that doing any sort of scripting on my end to directly manipulate things would be kind of a waste, since I would just end up overwriting that later. Well, oh, I do know what I can do for this stuff. The bed transform. So we open up Castle Quarters Manager. So we got the on curtains opened, which is an event that gets called whenever part of a puzzle has been solved. Don't need to worry about that. On lever activated. Here we go. Move bed coroutine. Go to definition. Do I need to do anything with this? Actually, the logic's pretty sound. Yeah, no, I don't need to do anything with that. Although I can set up the correct bed. Although probably shouldn't for the time being. Also gonna delete that magic vortex, I think. So let's close this. Let's open up the props. Let's move the castle bed up there. And we're going to go ahead and make the castle bed object. That's probably a good thing that we can do. Castle bed. So we're going to add an interactive object. Rename this to be model. Add a model module. Then add a collision module. Nice. Okay. So all this is doing is just basically setting up the interactive object part of this. So let's change our castle bed to be a interactive object. Yes, change children. And then select this. Let's move this back here. Bam. Got our prefab. Looks pretty nice. Don't think I have any problems with it. Got our fine wood grain there. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Comforter, mattress. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay. So we're not going to worry about populating its information for now, just because that's one of those boring parts. It's just me sitting editing a spreadsheet. But we can actually go ahead and start setting up these interactions. So let's go to items. Oh, not the logic. Item spawns. A friendly note. Sounds so complicated. It's not that bad actually. It's mostly. Oh, I do need to do. Hold on. It's mostly a lot of just keeping track of things in my head, which is a good, well, it's not a good thing. It can be a bad thing because when I come back to something that I haven't done in a while, I can forget how to do it. Which actually happened like 1 or 2 streams ago. I couldn't figure out how to do my trigger system, so I'm just like, screw it. We'll just rewrite the entire system because a lot of this old code that I'm working off of is stuff that was written a long time ago. Like stupid amounts of times ago. So I try to make this -4. I try to set it up so that I can, or I'm trying to fix it so that later on I'll be able to better come back to stuff and actually get it working in an easy way. So now if I play, I'm just going to drag my guy all the way over here. Or I don't even need to do that. I just need to check that the note spawned there. So we have our note spawning there. That's going to end up changing what it is later on too, just because its content right now is very nasty. But in the future, it's going to be a lot a lot easier for people to read. Since, yeah, I'll show it, I guess. Play. Pause. Let me grab my character, which is way over there. Drag this. Okay. So if I take this. Okay. What the heck? Really? What's wrong with my parser? Not understand. Interesting. Control Shift P. Hold on. What is my parser saying? Setting sentences, checking homages, stopping parser. Weird. Hold on, let me clear this. My parser seems to be acting up. So if I say eat self, pause. This is all the debug information for it. Eat, setting sentences, setting verb, terminator set to null. Interesting. The verb is eat. Sentence 0 has no subject. What would you like to eat? Quantity set to 1. Direct objects have been set to. Verb is eat. Self. Sentence output is. Huh. Interesting. So. Weird. My parser is spitting out the wrong thing, apparently. Huh. Let me. Why aren't you rotating? There, jeez. No. Friendly note. Verbs. Drop. Ah, that could be a problem. Seems like it's reset a lot of its stuff. So let me change eat to text only. Or actually, no, I'll change it to text only. Yeah, and default. Let me try eating it now. Okay, weird. Huh. My objects have some problem, apparently. I guess probably an update from one of the Unity versions broke my items. Well, okay. So that's going to have to get fixed. But that's all going to have to be adjusted to JSON anyway, so. We might actually end up calling it a night just because a lot of the next stuff that I have to do is not necessarily directly tied to programming, and it's kind of, I don't want to say boring because I find it quite enjoyable, but it would definitely be very visually unappealing. Well, not visually unappealing, but I don't want to bore you guys. And by you guys, I mean the only viewer I have, Tummy Time 21. So I think we're going to call it a night for now, which is probably fine. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. And then tomorrow, we're going to play it a little by ear tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to get some stuff set up, and then we'll be able to do a short stream tomorrow, just to give a progress report. But Halloween is this weekend, so gotta have wonderful party plans and all of that. Because even though I am, always working on this, I sometimes need a vacation too. So yeah, I think that's a good place to stop though. We got the door working, which just for fun, I'm going to go through our wonderful Inception door one more time, in all of its terrible sound effect glory. I don't know why I find that so funny, but I do. So we got that working, which is great. And then we took a look at level transitions, but so yeah, for tomorrow I'm going to try to fix a lot of this back end stuff and hopefully get the data ID stuff that we talked about like a week or two ago get that stuff set up finally. It's partially in right now, but I need to finish it up. So, yeah, I think that'll do it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you, TummyTime21, for following the dev stream. I always enjoy it when people follow and show up and talk to me. Um, I find it a lot more entertaining to talk to people than to just sort of talk to myself. um, so, yep. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow.